Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I would like to ask, is the Ghana media in crisis? This is With All Due Respect. With all due respect, I have decided to speak on the media or journalism in Ghana today and how it is turning out as one of the most useless professions in Ghana. The hard truth is, most journalists in Ghana don't even know why they do what they do and don't even know why they say what they say sometimes, or because their thirst for fame and lies has overshadowed their core ethics as professionals. Today, the media, or specifically some journalists in Ghana, prefer to eat corrupt breadcrumbs from the same politicians they have sworn to put in check. They nod to their lies and even serve as middlemen to propagate their lies whenever they get the opportunity. Let us not get this wrong. Journalism in Ghana didn't start getting unattractive just today. It has been in the ditch for a long period of time. But now I can confidently or comfortably say journalism lives in the gutters in Ghana today. Journalism in Ghana today stinks like shithole. I know this might sound unpleasant to some crooks and criminals in Ghana who call themselves journalists, but this is the plain truth. I was not surprised when some Ghanaians took to social media to split Omahene Kobna Asante of Asempa FM or multimedia into pieces just because he allowed himself to be used as a scapegoat. Omahene Kobna Asante might have sounded irresponsible and childish in his utterances, especially on the Adongo matter. But the honest truth is, he is just a drop in the ocean of irresponsible journalists in Ghana. Ghanaians just needed a bit or a bait to let this government know that their voices have been corrupted by their manipulations. My fellow Ghanaians, the truth is, the problem with journalism in Ghana is beyond the reckless statement by just one person. It is an institutional canker that has to be dealt with as quickly as possible, or else we will lose that democracy we have enjoyed all these years. Journalism today has become a business-making venture for some people, or because they feel playing along the hypocrisy of the masses or the majority is the only way to make them get recognized in these hard times where truth is hard to find. The downward slope of journalism in Ghana did not start just yesterday. It started years back, from Rawlings' era through Kufuor, Atta Mills, and John Mahama's time. But what makes it so disgusting this time around is that this current NPP government, which I belong to, has institutionalized corrupt journalism. This government has managed to corrupt the media to the point that they sound more like spokesperson for the government than mouthpiece of the vulnerable. These are facts, and every honest, rational Ghanaian will side with me. With all due respect, today on my show, I will be reading an article of a young Ghanaian who feels his voice has to be heard in all this chaos. This is the first time I have decided to read an article on my show, and I have decided to do this because I feel it is my duty to make sure my people, or my fellow Ghanaians' voices are heard from the north to the south of this nation. It is basically a short open letter this young man wrote to Omahene Kobna Asante of Multimedia or Asempa FM. But the good thing about this open letter is that the letter actually speaks to all journalists in this country. The young man who wrote this open letter is called Ohene Nana Addo Dankwa. Yes, his name again is Ohene Nana Addo Dankwa, a very honest gentleman. After reading his short letter to the media in Ghana, I realized one thing. The frustration of the masses is real. The people have lost hope in the media, which is supposed to be the voice of the people against the corrupt masses. This letter I'm about to read should at least send a strong signal to the media as a whole that we the people are watching and that the world is also watching. I'm going to read this letter to you, my fellow Ghanaians, and I hope everybody will take a little piece of their time to listen to this young gentleman's open letter to journalists in Ghana. He actually titled this letter, or this open letter, "The True Test of a Robust Democracy is the Independence of its Media." He starts by saying, "Greetings, Omahene Kobna Asante. A love for Ghanaians and Ghana and strong desire to unearth the truth, a disciplined and passionate person would make a good journalist. Now, like any other profession, journalism too requires a certain type of people. Not everyone can become a journalist. There are certain qualities a person must possess in order to become a good journalist. Some qualities can be worked on, but mostly a certain personality would be more suitable for the high-pressure job of a journalist. That is why Komla, a product of multimedia, was able to rise to that enviable height and gained that powerful international status. He began his exploits from the same building where you, Omahene Kobna Asante, operates from. Komla and others who worked at the place before Omahene's generation lived up to the image of the conventional journalist that readers have in mind, whilst others were stark contrast, just like Omahene and his likes. Nevertheless, they were good at their job. Journalism in Ghana is facing serious crisis. The mainstream media is increasingly vested in the hands of a selected few and refuses to question authority. Our media has suddenly become the mouthpiece of this government, coupled with the fact that the corporate owners of some of the private media houses share close link with the government. The Ghanaian media has tragically lost its voice. Over the last few years, especially after Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won the presidential election in 2016, the Ghanaian media has allowed itself to be undermined by the transcendent political power that he represents. The Ghanaian media has been polarized badly by the current administration. The media is in a bad shape. Omahene and his likes, who came to practice journalism, are not aware of their role now. They are now openly and aggressively supporting this government and have become arrogant and power-hungry. They want government officials and supporters of the NPP, this current government, to see them as sympathizers and standby communicators of government and party. When they land on their radio and television shows, they do not ask questions or explain issues for their listeners and viewers anymore, but government propaganda. Government officials and their propagandists in the media, including Omahene, have been dancing to their own tune. Social media is radically changing the industry's concept and making things difficult for bad journalists in the system. Journalists are forced to accelerate the traditional journalistic process because people now want real-time information. Omahene and his friends are believed to have been signed on by this government to attack anyone who exposes this government. But they are going through hell, fire, and meeting pythons because of the social media revolution. I felt weak and highly devastated after listening to Omahene's attack on Ghanaians who exposed this government. I felt sad because I know that a journalist must be a well-read person. He or she does not have to be an expert, but he or she must possess a wide range of knowledge. This is important because he will be informing people, and this is not possible if he or she is not well informed. Komla rose to the enviable heights because he showed command over topics he discussed, eschewed unnecessary biases and partiality, accorded his audience, president, ex-president, government appointees, the ordinary Ghanaian, his listeners and colleagues, the respect and space they deserved. He never expressed senseless emotion on his shows and measured everything he said on his show. There's no room for errors in news, and it is one of the basic tenets of the profession. So why the guesses and churning of false information and figures? Omahene and his likes should double-check their facts before sitting behind the console. One reason why we don't see much criticism in the media under this administration is that the president has the ability to dominate the media agenda by saturating the public and the media sphere with lies, fake images, and leaflets. Thus, the media is bound to only react to the news agenda offered by the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government rather than investigate its action independently. So Omahene and his guys will not only bury powerful message of Ghanaians, but would stupidly rain insults on we the people just because we the people reacted to the lies of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He finally concluded by saying and commending some journalists. He said, sure, there is a credibility crisis, but some of the journalists and writers who were known to be terribly biased have surprised the world. People like Manasseh Asori, Franklin Kujo, and the likes have surprised the world because of their posture now. Manasseh Asori has so far displayed real professionalism and confidence. With happenings in the media, many journalists often fall into the trap of abandoning their ethics. So far, Asori has shown that he knows how to balance a sense of ethics with a thirst of uncovering secrets. Omanhene Kojo Asante and the likes learn to be balanced. Signed, Ohene Nana Addo Dankwa. My fellow Ghanaians, this is what I'm talking about. Finally, with all due respect, ladies and gentlemen, this is an honest opinion of an honest Ghanaian who thinks the media in Ghana, more especially the so-called senior journalists, have become slaves in their own home because they have allowed a few men and women in power to buy their integrity and conscience. I know that not everyone will agree with him because of the hypocrisy we are in today. But the honest truth is, he has spoken the truth. I've always said that every man believes in something, but what makes a man unique is his courage and ability to speak truth to that thing he believes in. Today, I dove my heart for this young gentleman, Ohene Nana Addo Dankwa. He has shown that there are still some honest, intelligent, and patriotic Ghanaians out there who will do everything to speak the truth to power. Because of politics, some hypocrites in this country will try and associate this writer to a particular group of people or a political party, so will go every length to disregard this piece. But the good thing about what I just read to you, my fellow Ghanaians, is that truth is only one. It does not matter who or where it comes from. It will always be the truth. We can pretend as much as we want as a people, but the dark clouds of doom we are helping these liars called journalists to create is becoming thicker and scarier. We will have nowhere to run when this storm starts to clear us out of where we live. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is always Kevin Ekobedi Taylor, and as always, this is with all due respect.